The Bills have a chance to make a season-saving move. It doesn't involve anyone that would actually be playing on the field, but earlier today, the New York Giants fired Brian Daboll as their head coach. I know what we're all thinking. Brian Daboll, the best offensive coordinator the Bills have had in decades, on the open market. Can the Bills find a way to bring Brian Daboll back into the system? First things first, let's talk about the current offensive coordinator situation in Buffalo. It is Joe Brady, and he could tweet out 1-0 every single week for the end of time, and I don't care. This guy, I've seen enough. He is a one-trick pony. His run game is solid, but this guy literally has 6 plays in his playbook, and he flips the sheet over, and there's 3 on one side, 3 on the other, and he just rotates between them over and over and over. The halfback toss didn't work. Let's try wide receiver screen. Oh, the defenses have realized that we only run plays, 4 yards past the line of scrimmage. Let's try Josh Allen scramble for 57 seconds and have our wide receiver stand in one place. It's not working, right? Like this offense is completely stagnant, and the Dolphins, a very weak Dolphins defense, by the way. This secondary for the Dolphins is terrible. Their defensive line, they traded away some of their top guys. Just a terrible defense in total. Made the Bills' offense look absolutely garbage. I mean, this defense absolutely embarrassed the Bills' offense. And we're talking about an offense led by Josh Allen. How many times do I got to say it? If you're an offensive coordinator and you cannot figure out how to make Josh Allen look good, you got to go. I said it with Ken Dorsey years ago, and now Joe Brady has fallen into that same role where, sure, he's got James Cook looking like $1,000, but you got the best quarterback in the league or a top 3 quarterback in the league, and you're making him into a check down merchant. Why? Absolutely why. We look at better quarterbacks around the league. Patrick Mahomes, for example, who you could compare with Josh Allen. He has an absolute offensive genius working with him on a week-to-week basis in Andy Reid. And look at some of the stuff they do compared to the Bills. And I hate to compare the Chiefs to the Bills, but that's all we're going to do around here in Buffalo until we beat them in the playoffs. And Andy Reid just comes up with some of the most creative moves on offense, some of the most creative plays that make Patrick Mahomes and, in years prior, their quote-unquote garbage group of wide receivers look like the best in the league. I know Joe Brady's not working with the best group of wide receivers, but the Chiefs were able to do it with an even worse group a couple years ago. So why not the Bills? The Bills will be getting Palmer back. They'll be getting Gabe Davis back. But let's be honest. Are those two going to change what Joe Brady calls on offense? No, not at all. He's going to continue to do the same old stuff. Pitch left, pitch right, run up the middle, wide receiver screen, the occasional 5-yard pass downfield. Let's go back a few years ago with one of the most electric Bills offenses in the last couple decades, and that was run under Brian Daboll. Sure, were there games in those seasons where the Bills put up, 15 points, 14 points? Yes, that did happen. But for the most part, the Bills offense was consistently scoring, and keep in mind, this was with a Josh Allen that was not MVP Josh Allen yet. He still made those dumb mistakes that did put his team back. Now you have a completely different version of Josh Allen. A Josh Allen that is just praying to throw the ball downfield. A version of Josh Allen that has all the intangibles and he's finally putting them all to good use. He no longer makes the dumb throws down the field. Right now, Joe Brady is taking Josh Allen, putting him in handcuffs and saying, go out there and just catch the snap. That's basically his job on this offense. Catch the snap and, maybe throw it 3 yards down the field. You got to be able to win games with your quarterback, especially when it's Josh Allen. So final question of this video, can the Bills get Brian Daboll? Will they do it? Well, there's a couple problems, right? I don't think they're going to fire Joe Brady. The team is 6-3. They're still in a playoff spot by a game or 2 games right now. There's really no reason to fire Joe Brady even after that terrible game. You'd really have to have a couple more bad losses really pinned on the offense to even consider firing Joe Brady. So if you were to hire Brian Daboll right now, it would have to be as an offensive assistant or, a senior offensive advisor, something of that nature. Number 2, we have the feud between Brian Daboll and Sean McDermott. It's been rumored, it's almost been confirmed by now that Brian Daboll and Sean McDermott, they don't not like each other, they hate each other. There is a feud between them. Can they get along? Can they, hash things out in order to save this season and potentially the rest of Josh Allen's career? I know I'm making it sound serious, but if we're going to keep throwing Josh Allen out there to be a check down merchant, you might as well just trade him away and sign a quarterback for $2 million that can do the same thing and get some wide receivers on this team and build a team around him, because you're wasting a franchise quarterback. You're wasting a generational talent right now, and it's very evident. So can you kind of take away that hatred between McDermott and Daboll? That's a question that we're going to have to figure out. And there's no question about it that Sean McDermott loves his complementary football. And anyone who serves as offensive coordinator, unless they are a guy like Brian Daboll, who is an established coach in the league, they're just going to be taking orders from McDermott. And that's what Dorsey did. That's what Joe Brady's doing now. We got to run the ball. We got to give our defense so much time, X amount of time to be ready for next drive. We can't go down there and score in 3 seconds because we're going to give it right back with our defense. The system that the Bills play, again, it's 1900s football, and they've been doing that for the entire time under Sean McDermott. And all these defensive, analytics that he uses and these defensive schemes, they don't work. His teams do not tackle well. His teams do not defend well. I think 4 out of the last 5 playoff runs, the defense has let us down. But right now, we're in a situation that is very similar to the year Ken Dorsey got fired, where he lost that Broncos game, and we all were like, oh boy, we're out of a playoff spot. It's not as bad right now, but it's trending in that direction, and the team needs to make a shakeup. What did they do? They fired Ken Dorsey, and they flipped the season around. Joe Brady was a nice, fresh face. He actually, got the running backs involved in the pass game. But now it looks like he's kind of run his course. And if you're going to continue to handcuff Josh Allen, I don't want you as this offensive coordinator of this team. We'll have to see, though. Again, there is a chance that, and I've been saying it, I've been holding out hope that Joe Brady has been, keeping a hidden playbook aside for games that actually matter because he knows maybe he can get the competitive advantage when they go to the playoffs. But good teams don't have to do that, right? When you have things that work, you have a big enough playbook. And if you're going to handcuff your franchise quarterback, the MVP of last season, to only checkdowns, it's absolutely ridiculous. And the last point I want to make is, there's people saying, well, Allen does throw the ball downfield and he's inaccurate sometimes this year, and Allen's looked bad this year. When you give him downfield plays on clear passing downs, of course he's going to look bad. If it's 3rd and 20 and you let him throw the ball downfield, the offense, is clearly lined up for a pass. The defense knows it's coming. It's near impossible to get a first down on that sort of markage. But when you have, say the 2nd and 1 plays where it's hit or miss, and you don't give him a single deep ball all season long on like a 2nd and 3 or less, that's exactly where you should be taking those shots with a quarterback. Good teams do it. Teams with good quarterbacks do it. Look at the Rams this year. They are letting Matthew Stafford air that thing out to his receivers, and it's working. It's just unacceptable, right? We've seen the Chiefs do it with a worse group of receivers. I don't want any more excuses for Joe Brady. He has to change his ways if he wants to stay here, and I absolutely am among the camp that they should bring Brian Daboll back under any circumstance, whether that's an offensive assistant, new offensive coordinator. I don't even care if he's the new head coach. I mean, he was bad in New York as a head coach, but this team is just repetition. It's the same thing every year, and if they continue to trend like this, it's going to be much of the same in the playoffs. They're going to get to the playoffs, play a better coach, and they're going to get outcoached. They're going to lose. We know it's coming, so they have to change something up. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Leave a like on this video and subscribe. Again, it's not time to hit the panic button. 6-3, still in the playoff spot, but you can tell things are going downhill and very fast. They're going to have to make some sort of change, whether that's signing a free agent or getting a coach like Brian Daboll. Thank you guys for watching this video, and have a good one. Peace out.